Basically, it's the communications department that should be feeling a bit thrown under the bus after that comment.
Well, it's not the communications department alone. It's the policy department as well. I think when you look at this, Martha, is the fact that look at the messages that Obama was sending out to the American people. It was about globalism. He went to the United Nations, spoke about the fact that you can't stop globalism. When you're this coal miner in West Virginia or you've lost your job in Pennsylvania, they want to be talking about how you're bringing jobs back to America, not just giving everything up to a globalist economy. Secondly, I think it's this idea of economic growth, where he talked about creating all these private jobs, sector jobs. With that being said, it didn't trickle down to many of these communities, especially in these battleground states. You take the case, for example, that you still have 63 million people who are not participating in our labor force. I mean, I think that those are just some of the issues that we can address. We can go on to Obamacare, where you can say if you like your health plan, you can keep it. Well, that didn't happen. So I think it's one failure after the other, one disappointment after the other when it comes to Obama, not about just simply the PR battle.
So he thinks it's the messaging that was the problem, Juan. And Mercedes has outlined a number of things that were underlying policy issues. You know, when you look at health care alone, I think the impact of those November premium increases that came through before the election might be the most undertold story of exactly why Hillary Clinton may have lost.
You know, I disagree, Martha. I just think that, this morning, for example, President-elect Trump was tweeting, going after Hillary Clinton and the like, and I thought, this is effective communicating, like it or not. He has us in the media talking about what he's saying on his terms, on his time frame. He's driving the news this Friday morning. And I think with President Obama, let's look at some of the things that Mercedes was talking about. When you break down Obamacare, for example, now it's pretty much divided whether people want it repealed or not in the American mind. But, when you ask them about things like, should insurance companies really be required to cover people with pre-existing conditions? Should it be the case that we expand Medicare for our seniors? Americans say yes. And then you say, oh, but that's Obamacare. And say, oh, well, I'm not sure about that, or I don't like it.
Yeah, but when you say
so
yes, it's going to cost you, and your premiums are going to go up, and your deductible is going to be so high that you're not going to get to use your health care. They have a different opinion on it.
Well, I understand your perspective. In fact, I think one of the problems President Obama had, Martha, was that he didn't listen, and I think oftentimes treated conservative opinion and conservative news sites with disdain, that he thought he didn't have to engage in that way. Just a few moments ago, Mercedes said this thing about jobs. I just wanted to smack my head because, you look at the stimulus. In fact, the stimulus not only produced jobs, but a stimulus that now Donald Trump brags that he's coming in and he plans to build infrastructure. It's a different messaging.